And we are coming to you live on a Monday, July 7th edition of Sean and Spin in the Morning, presented by Off Base Media, episode 32. Look at us go. We missed Friday because it was the 4th. We were doing American things, but we had a lot of shit that happened since then that we got to get into today. But first, Shawnee, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. A lot of all-star snubs that we're going to get into. A lot of Cy Youngs in the National League too. We're big fans of small ball here. Good, clean baseball. And when pitchers are good, we like baseball. I know it's become a hitter's league over the past, but and it still is in some cases. Like we still see like great hitters. Obviously, Cal Riley, Aaron Judge. You know, you talk about those talk of the town, Shohei as well. But like it really has been a pitcher's year this year with all the people we're going to talk about. But a lot of wild stuff to get into. Boom, ready to get going.
Let's start with our vibe check then, because we do got a big show ahead. You're talking about pitchers. Well, how about this guy, Luis Ortiz? You fucking
Dude,
know
the
this?
evidence is damning. It's extremely damning. Have you heard about what's all going on?
Yeah, so we threw like 2 pitches back in June that are concerning about the gambling
Yeah,
speculations.
so apparently the report was there was a big bet placed basically on Luis Ortiz's first pitch of the inning to be a ball. And both of those times, he threw one of the worst pitches we have ever seen, ever. Like, he threw it, clear over the catcher or spiked it, 10 feet in front of home plate, all while there was a big wager placed on the first thing. Listen, if you're betting for yourself, I don't really have that much of a problem with it. Because if you're betting, for you to do good, for you to win games, for you to whatever, it still shouldn't be done point blank. We talk about whatever, Pete Rose is talking everything like that. Or Luis Ortiz was betting against himself. And then it was really clear cut that he was just chucking it over the catcher, looking like Murtaugh in Little League, throwing it closing his eyes and throwing it at somebody's head, basically. So I think it's definitely worth investigating.
Yeah, so I don't know what his deal is, I guess now. I heard that on StatCast or whatever, his arm angle on a slider was the highest it's ever been in his life or some shit. So I don't know. I don't know how you can even prove it. I mean, whether he admits it or not, it's probably the only way you can prove it, because if you have a conversation behind closed doors with somebody, unless he's an idiot and texted it, but as long as you there's really no way of proving it. But I think either way, he's fucked, because MLB has to set a precedent somehow. So even if it's not true, it's just a crazy crazy circumstance, crazy fucking conspiracy or whatever. I still think he's fucked, because I think MLB, you have to set a precedent, or else everyone would just continue to do it.
Yeah, the one thing that is also kind of an out, do you just drop him? Do you just cut him after this? Can you trust him? Even if he's if this is so, it almost seems, it's not blatantly obvious, because once again, they got to prove it and everything. But can you trust the guy after this?
Yeah, I don't know how deep it's gonna run. Maybe if Bieber comes back and they say bye-bye. I don't know. I don't know how deep it's gonna run. I mean, I feel like shit's happened before in the past, and guys are, they stick around. You also are paying them, so I don't know all that shit works. Who the fuck knows? I got to get off of Luis, man. He's been pitching he's been all right. He's been all right this year.
He has, but I mean, that's just, I think the biggest question is, can you still trust him after everything that happened, basically?
I think once he gets suspended, if he gets suspended, he'll probably will. I think he's fucked either way, like I said. But if he serves his suspension, you like to think he's, that the game has policed itself, and time has been served or whatever, justice has been served, and he can come back and be fine. Because there's guys that do shit, and I don't know, do you trust your teammates who fuck you over by getting with these PED stuff? I mean, it's the same thing. You still kind of be this selfish way of thinking, realistically.
Yeah, Jurickson Profar got caught nabbed for PEDs, comes back and hits 2 bombs in the first 3 games. So
picked him up in fantasy too. I was waiting to pounce on him in fantasy because I didn't want him to do it too early. But I was waiting. Yeah, so that was crazy. So good for Jurickson. But how about the dude for the Phillies who got busted? So
Alvarado. I mean, he may come back, but he still can't pitch in the playoffs. Profar can play in the playoffs, but I mean, the
I don't
Braves.
no, I think he has the playoff ban too.
Profar does.
I think so, but I don't think they're gonna make
Profar's
it.
got a
So
ban just because the Braves aren't making it.
yeah, the whole teams are gonna fucking basically ban from the playoffs. All right, what's the next order of business here? Speaking of teams
The
not making the
Nats.
playoffs, actually, yeah, they're not doing
Yeah.
shit.
But we get to the Nationals, firing both the GM and the manager, Mike Rizzo and Dave Martinez, out of there, 37 and 53. The Nationals got a lot of young talent on this team. I think they were hoping for a little bit better. They're currently sitting in the basement, 37 and 53. Do you think this was the right move, Spin? Do you think this is just another they don't have enough kind of thing? Like, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, so I mean, I think we all expected them to just not be a playoff team this year. I don't think we expected them to be this bad. This is the next few years are going to be about player development. We've been saying that for a while. They're still in that stage, in this rebuilding, developmental stage. I thought Dave Martinez was a fine manager. He's the manager that helped them win the World Series in 2019, which is their first and only World Series in franchise history. I thought, things were kind of going right with him, and I thought the whole organization was in agreement or an agreement, whatever the fuck the word is, of this is developmental. We can probably pretty much expect us to not be a 500 team. Maybe we're a little bit below 500. If anything, maybe they're a little bit above or like an 82 win team at best, which I think 82 is what, a little over 500. So at best, that's the case, but mostly 500, a little under 500. Dave Martinez is the right guy for the job. This is all the things that you're saying at the beginning of the season, and now you kind of get to a little bit past the halfway point. You have 37 wins. You're last in the division. And it's like, what the fuck? Like you see teams like Marlin, like after Pittsburgh fired their manager, they looked up. They looked better. They have a better record than you now. Marlins better. I mean, a lot of people have a better record than you. So it's like, yeah. Do you expect it to go this bad? That I don't know. And you are trying to make strides in the right direction. So I don't think anyone saw this coming. But when you're trying to make strides in the right direction and you are playing this bad, maybe that's just the case. I don't think they knew this was going to happen entering the season. I thought they think they'd be better.
Yeah, I think out of all of them, this is the most just firing, I guess you could say. Like maybe it's just past Dave Martinez's time. Like he got it done back in the day, but nowadays you're more of a rebuild scenario. Like they had a solid roster back when they won that World Series. Like there were a lot of guys who shocked you. Like this year, I mean, it's kind of back and forth almost because like James Wood is playing like one of the best outfielders in baseball right now. CJ Abrams is playing like one of the best shortstops in baseball right now. And you hope that they would get pieces around him, like you have like a Luis Garcia and Ahmed Rosario, who are gonna, they're gonna hit for you every now and again. They'll play solid defense, but like Josh Bell's just been disappointing for them this year. They hope the big boy, the switch hitter, the Philly killer of Josh Bell, would be a little bit better for you. But he's batting 216 on the year with only 11 bombs. They were hoping for more. I didn't think you were gonna get that much more from him. I mean, it's Josh freaking Bell. There's not a lot of people in this lineup outside of that. Like Dylan Cruz has had a kind of a disappointing rookie campaign, been hurt a little bit too on top of that. And then like their pitching, like you have really Mackenzie Gore and then like who else? You know what you don't really have, you have Kyle Finnegan in the back of the bullpen, but then you're playing like with a losing hand almost trying to make something work. So, and there have been some points that have hurt him where you can't really blame them. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like they just thought they were going to be better this year, but they still need like 3 or 4 years basically to get these guys to bring in more people, more pieces on their staff. Like, and I think they just maybe wanted to start fresh, not have like a Dave Martinez and just start fresh almost.
Yeah, I agree. And not to mention, I think when shit piles on and you kind of are, they've had a lot of losing streaks. That June was not good for them. They don't start July great. They're already on a 3-game losing streak right now, and I don't even know what their record is in the first week of July or anything. But they lost the weekend series. I don't even know who they play. But either way, 37 wins is dog shit. I mean, this would be actually a really good year for them to take advantage of when the Braves don't look good, and then Miami has 40. Like this is actually a pretty good year for them to take advantage of this shit and kind of get a little bit of a winning streak with these young guys would be really good. Instead, it's a losing streak with the young guys. But we talked about this like a couple weeks ago. I don't necessarily think that's like god awful because now the leaders who are going to start to lead the new era of Washington baseball know what it's like to absolutely stink, and they don't want to ever taste this again. So that could be something that sets them up for the future. But like I was saying, when shit just piles on and piles on, and then you go back and you remember some of David Martinez's quotes in one press conference, and he said something along the lines of, um, our coaching staff doesn't lose the game, whatever. Like we don't lose the game. We're like kicking ass. Like whether you thought that was good or not, a lot of people backed them on that, which that's fine. People like on MLB Network who played the game were like, yeah, okay, it's like not that deep. So okay, fine, I'll go that route. But I've also heard in the past too, someone like a Bill Belichick talk about how uh, the players win the game, the coaches lose the game, and then you look at the caliber of a Bill Belichick, and you look at the caliber of now fired Dave Martinez, and it's like, well, what do you believe? Different sports, I get it, but what do you believe? So I don't know if I necessarily love the quote. I understand what he was getting at, but again, now it just piles on top, and now you're looking like shit in the regular season. You're in last place now. You can come back to that quote. It doesn't leave the best taste in people's mouths. Now you're fired. I don't think it's a direct correlation to that quote, but I'm just saying things pile up. They thought they'd be better. They need a fresh start. Bye bye Davey, and bye bye who's the other guy? Mike Rizzo.
So that's the first GM can in I think this year, right?
Yeah, I guess it is, right?
We've had Bud Black, we've had who's the Pirates coach?
Derek Shelton,
and now Dave Martinez. I think that it's only been 3, right?
And we had whatever the Brendan Hyde for the Orioles.
Okay, so 4. Who's going to be the 5th?
Oh,
who's going to be the 5th? I think it's a pretty
Boone, clear. I hope.
I think it's pretty clear cut for me who's going to be the 5th, but I kind of want to get your thoughts.
So okay, so the 5th that doesn't have an interim tag?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know I don't have a clear cut. I hope it's not my boy Quattraro in KC. Baby, I hope it's fucking Aaron Boone. Where the fuck else would it be? Who else would it be? Who do you have?
Go with Brian Snitker.
Where's he at?
The
Braves. The Braves.
Yeah.
Snitker. Oh, I like Snitker too. But hey, you know what?
Maybe they'll ride with him because there's been a lot of weird things going on with the Braves this year. Like how nobody predicted Albies and Harris to suck this bad. Same thing with Ozuna, and also their pitching staff to be kind of not look great and stuff like that. But do you blame that on the manager? Do you blame that on the players? Like, where does the leadership fall? Where does the blame fall? I don't know, but I think he would be my clear-cut number 1. Only reason I'm saying him and not the guys over in Boston is because Boston's still only 2.5 games out of the wild card somehow, some way. They're finally above 500. Will they stay above 500? I have no idea, but I think Brian might be in trouble down there in Atlanta.
I could see Brian being in trouble, sure.
But I don't know if it's going to be a mid-season one. I could see like later, maybe a little bit later, maybe after post All-Star break. That'd be ballsy, but like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Or at the end of the season. I don't know. We'll have to see how these. Yeah, I don't know what goes on in these these inner circles or behind closed doors. I really hope fucking Boone gets canned.
Now on the train. You're now done with Boone.
Well, you've always kind of are, but you're not. Remember, he's similar to what the fuck's his name? Coach for the Eagles, Sirianni. He's similar to Sirianni. It's like you do, then you don't, then you do, then you don't, and then he wins. But except Boone didn't win, so it's like you do again. but either way, Snitker did win with them in 2021. He did it without Acuna that year. They were able to make the playoffs last year when a lot of injuries happened. They didn't have a great season. They were very banged up, and guys who were supposed to be hot were cold, and they still found a way to sneak into the playoffs. So you can respect Snitker for that. This is really his worst season ever as their manager. Maybe there's some things to be said about that, but not looking good for Snitker, I will say.
Yeah, but you made a good point. This is really their first terrible season with him. So it'll be interesting to see how Braves management goes about it. Because you think about the Braves have been good for a good amount of time now. Mm-hmm. Very good for a while. And that front office just seems to always be bringing people in who are good too. So
they had a real good coaching staff too when I think they won, and maybe even after, like Ron Washington.
Yeah, he was on that. Yeah.
He was like the infield coach. So you had and I don't even know who else there was, but I remember there was a lot of highly touted coaching left and right. So that's could be another thing too. It's like, do you want to keep Snitker at the helm and surround him by good coaching, or are you going to use that as an excuse and say, oh, if he doesn't have good coaching, it's not him? I don't know.
But I guess we can move on a little bit. we had some gems. We were talking about pitching earlier. We had some gems on Sunday. Skubal, Skeens, and Wheeler. I mean, I feel like Wheeler, I'll pose it to you, but like Skubal, Skeens, and Wheeler all through, they did what aces are supposed to do.
That's the big three in the league, right?
Dude, it's unbelievable, the pitching this year. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that after we get to this. But Wheeler goes complete game shutout. I believe he had 11 strikeouts, I think, and only one earned run on the day. Was a solo one earned run, one hit on the day. Was a solo home run to Austin Hayes. He pitched unbelievable. Give me 1 second here. I want to find Tariq's outing. I should have had this pulled up. That's my fault.
Well, when you find that really – oh, go ahead.
Tariq went 7 innings, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, no earned, dominated Cleveland. Like, I think he got the – did he get the winner? He get the no decision?
He got a no decision in that one, Tarek did.
And then Skeens went 5 shutout, ended up getting the loss. I mean, not getting the loss, getting the no decision because his team lost 1-0. So I just wanted to pose this question to you. I feel like it's pretty clear cut. Who had the best outing out of the 3?
Well, Wheeler did by far, and that's what I was going to say because I was looking up Wheeler while you were looking up Tarek. So he had 12 Ks through 9, no walks, and in his last 2 games, I mean, the game before he had 8 scoreless, 10 Ks, no walks. So he has 22 strikeouts in his last 2 starts with no walks in that span. So I mean, he's absolutely ridiculous. That's what aces do. I fucking love Zach Wheeler. So yeah, the best is Zach Wheeler from those outings. But those are the big 3, right? We all knew those are the top 3 pitchers entering this season. It's just where did you put them? I actually had Wheeler number 1 entering this season.
So do I. I have Wheeler. I have Wheeler 1 right now too. His month of June was incredible, and then he kicked off July just doing what aces are supposed to, doing what Zach Wheeler's done. Actually, doing what Zach Wheeler's done for the majority of his tenure with the Phillies. Mm-hmm. He's been incredible. I think that's why he's getting so many talks of, is this the best pitcher the Phillies have ever seen, kind of thing. And I'm going to be honest, I think they're fair. Like, we've had some great pitchers. We've had Holiday. We've had Cliff Lee. You can even throw Roy Oswalt in there, Cole Hamels, Steve Carlton back in the day. Like, there have been some unbelievable pitchers that have come through this Phillies organization. But I think that what people are making the argument of with Wheeler is we've never had a guy do it for as long as Wheeler has. Holiday had, like 2 or 3 really good years. Cliff Lee for even less than that, like 2. Hamels was a very long stretch of his career. He was great. So was Carlton. But like Wheeler has been dominant, probably been top 3 in Cy Young more years than he hasn't been with the Phillies. He's been unbelievable. And I want to give credit where credit is due to Wheeler because he's been outstanding.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say I think Steve Carlton's the best pitcher.
Yeah, so do I. But history. I mean, I think.
But it's good to see Wheeler.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, like I think if you would do like an all-time Phillies lineup, when you do like an all-time Phillies lineup, I think Wheeler is on there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Steve Carlton would be your ace, and then I still would probably put Roy Halladay. I'm going to value the Hall of Famers before I value someone else. But like either way, I mean, we'll see how Wheeler's trending. I think we're actually going to talk about milestone talk in a second. Maybe we could look at what the fuck Wheeler's going to up to because that's a good one. He's been doing it for so long, and that's part of the reason I had him at number 1 entering the season. Before the season started, I thought he was the best pitcher in baseball ahead of a Skeens and a Skubal, just because I've seen so much of him. We've all seen so much of Wheeler year after year after year after year, plus the playoffs. That's where I value that the consistency is there. The longevity is a little bit more than a Skubal and a lot more than a Skubal and Skeens, but you get the point. He just does it year after year and the playoffs. How can you not like it? You know what you're going to get out of him. Not that we didn't know we were going to get from Skubal and Skeens, but this is realistically Skeens' first full season in the majors. He didn't have a full season last year. It was like 3/4 of a year. Yeah. And then Skubal's coming out party was last year, where Wheeler we know what we're getting out of Wheeler, and he just continues to amaze.
Yeah, so he so back to the original question I think Wheeler had. It was incredible watching him because, one, his fastball was electric. He was pointing it wherever the hell he wanted. And then there was one moment in like the 7th inning, dude. He didn't get a call. Beautiful pitch, painted the black on the outside. And then the next pitch it was like he was angry, like with the ump, because it was the hardest pitch he threw of the day at like 99 miles per hour, right down the freaking middle. Just I think it was to Benson, and he just whiffed on it. It was pretty. It was super fun to watch, especially when Wheeler kind of has that edge and has it going on. Like watching all these pitchers when they are locked in is some of like the coolest. If you're a baseball like I don't want to say purist, but like a true fan of baseball, to see a good pitching outing is like next to none. It's so cool to watch. But then next,
It
I guess
really
we're gonna
is. And I just want to search one quick thing. Who did Skeens do it against at Seattle? Go ahead. I think we're cutting. My Wi-Fi fucking sucks.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
But we're good.
We were doing a little since we're talking about the guys who threw gems on Sunday. Talk a little bit about the Cy Young race in the National League and the American League. I can't remember a time where we could list about 10 guys on each side who are in the conversation, and you can make an argument for each and every one of them to be the Cy Young. On the National League side of thing, you have Wheeler, Skeens, Yamamoto, Gore, Webb, Peralta, Abbott, Boyd, Sale, and I even threw Robbie Ray in there. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 11 names, and I might even be missing someone. In all honesty, are you cutting out?
No. Yeah, I mean that's good. We have to when we do our all-star check, we have to see how many of these guys are all-stars. I think all of them are. Sale's gonna miss too much time, so I'm not mad at taking him out when you have to really start to cut shit. But he looked good when he was healthy, which is good to see. The defending Cy Young, of course. I bet you Abbott doesn't get fucking votes because he's gonna get shit on. That sucks. But I we're big Abbott fans. He also has to get his innings up. I think the Phillies might have got to him a little bit.
They did. They got to him on Friday.
We'll see how Gore continues to trend. Now I know his big thing is strikeouts, but let's just see how he goes. But yeah, I mean, a lot of aces, and that's listen. Before we even get to the AL, this is why fantasy owners. This is why you draft. This is why you draft hitters. This is why you don't jump out of your shoes for pitchers. There's going to be pitchers available. Who thought Bubic was going to be there? Who drafted Gore that high? Right? Who drafted Boyd, Abbott, or Boyd and Abbott? Maybe even Robbie Ray were waiver pickups. That's why you don't draft pitchers off the shoot. Like our buddy Tyler getting Skeens in the first round at like number 7 pick over. That's why you wait. That's why you wait, and you can get some good guys. But yeah, the whole good is a good crop, real good crop.
Yeah, and then we get to the AL side of things. Like it's pretty top heavy, not as long as the NL, but still. Skubal, Fried, Brown, Crochet, Bubic, Framber, Evaldi, DeGrom, and I'm definitely missing somebody on the AL side of things. I wasn't thinking too much. But you have so many people here, and each and every last one of them you can make an argument for.
You know who I had? I really like. I like my boy Brian Wu.
Brian Wu, too. Yeah, you got to throw him in there also. Is he an all-star? He got made an all-star, I'm pretty sure, too.
I think he did, which is good. You want to see someone from that staff make it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Bubic. I think he started to trend down a little bit, but he had a good outing on the 4th. So he pitched on the 4th. 7 innings, 3 earned and a win. That's a quality start. His ERA still 2.36. 7 wins. So, yeah, good for Bubic. Like you said, it is a little top heavy though on the AL side, right? But I do think the top 4 are bigger boppers with like Skubal, Fried, Brown, Crochet. Those are your big 4. I think that's an insane 4. But yeah, there's a lot good crop.
It's like anytime one of them pitches, that's when they're like, "Oh, he's actually the Cy Young." Oh no, he's the Cy Young. He's like it's kind of like it's so like intertwined and changing. It's fun to watch. We haven't had this fun of a Cy Young race in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sick. And you know what? Go back on Abbott for a second because Hunter Green, rather, to start the year, he started to make waves and be like, oh, let's see how he does. And now there's still a guy in Cincinnati kind of doing it in his absence. So that's why you got to respect Abbott. And no one's talking about Abbott. I'm going to post a TikTok clip about Abbott today. Hopefully get the people going. But yeah, I mean, love Brian Wu, love DeGrom and Evaldi. Veterans doing it. We got young kids on the block, Crochet in really his 2nd season. Good to see the consistency there. Fried, fucking love it. Scooble, how can you not? Bubic is a low key motherfucker, so you love to see that. And then of course it's full season award, and then this is second half is gonna answer a lot of questions as to who can actually prevail. But really good crop. I mean, there is a good race right now.
Hell yeah, we love that. And then while we're on the pitchers, do we want to get into Clayton Kershaw because we didn't get a chance to talk about him?
Yeah, this was Thursday, right?
Yeah, so we get to Kershaw, 3,000 strikeouts, which is it was an all-time game. It was really cool in Chavez Ravine, right?
Yep.
And Freeman walked it off that game. 20th player to 3,000 strikeouts. The fourth lefty, which is pretty cool. Kershaw has obviously had one of the best careers of any pitcher ever. He's a World Series champion. He's a Cy Young winner. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. Like, it's almost like no questions asked. We had another one too with Altuve. Moves to second on the Astros all-time hit list, passing Jeff Bagwell. But you posed the question: does he get to 3,000? He needs 700 some more.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah,
maybe a little less. He's at 23. He's at 2,323 as of today. I think why not? Fuck it. I like to see it. He's got he's 35 now. What are we at in terms of Jose? 3,000 minus 23. So 677 more. He's at the age of 35. What does that average out to? If he plays 5 years, if he plays 5 more years, he needs like 135, 136 hits for the next 5 years, which is kind of light. But it's also, you got to take into consideration fatigue at an older age. I like to say, why not? Why not? And then, there's other guy, like, if not him, then who does? Freddie's at 2,357 at the age of 35, or maybe he's 36 now, or he's going on 36, whatever Freddie is. Machado is at he's at 1998 at the age of 33, so he'll get to 2,000 this week. A little milestone watch there.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see these guys that are pacing there get it, because I don't know. We feel like 3,000, guys, just between guys that don't play as much as they used to, and maybe we don't value hits like we used to. We just don't see it at that same rate. But I'd like to see these guys get 3,000. I mean, what do you think on Altuve? Is he maybe Freeman's the most likely to do it? Maybe Altuve. I don't know.
I don't know, because I don't know how much longer Freeman's going to play. I mean, I would like to see Freddie's gonna get it, but I think Freddie would probably have to play till. Do you think Freddie would have to play till he's 40? Like, how many hits does he average a year?
I could actually tell you. In a 162 average, 181. That's a shit ton. But again, as you get older, but he's 35 now. What is he at? 3,000 minus 2357. He needs 643 more. He's got to average like 129.
If you were to play till when? Till he's 40?
Till here for the next 5 years.
I think he could do it. I just don't know how long Freddie wants to play. I know he's a family man. I could see him kind of hanging it up here in the next 2 years. Like, he's getting up to that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not that. I mean, for a first baseman, I don't think it's crazy to play till 40. I think he's more inclined to play till 40 at his position.
Dodgers going to want him until he's 40, though?
I mean, there's no. I guess it's going to be. I don't know what his contract is, and it's also just how he trends in the next few years. But he's showing no signs of stopping. I mean, he is starting the All-Star game right now at the age of 35. He's showing no signs of stopping.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's such a pure hitter. I can see him. I can see him doing it. And Machado, sneaky on this, huh?
He is. Machado doesn't get a whole lot of talked about a whole lot anymore. Ever since he went over to San Diego, kind of because they don't have a freaking fan base, and like you said, they're not a winning organization.
I actually like him more in San Diego. I think he's really found himself as like a leader of a team, because there was a time he was a piece of shit. So I like him for that reason. But
on the Orioles, he was an asshole.
He was an ass. And I have some milestones for homers here too. I mean, Machado at the age of 33, is that what he is? He's 33. He's at 356 homers, so 144 more for 500. That's a little milestone too. Trout's 108 away from 500. Judge and Harper kind of in that realm too. And then the league guy, or like the active leader, is obviously Stanton. 70 shy of 500 home runs is Stanton.
Stanton 70 shy of 500. How old?
So he's 35 though.
Damn.
But
so he would have to. I mean, with his injuries, he would have to play. He might get close, but that would be a lot to ask at a stand.
That's going to be a lot to ask, and there is signs of slowing down. He's been, I mean, I think he got to maybe 300 really quick, and then the next 130 would have been like over a longer span of time. Let me make sure this is right.
He just keeps getting hurt. That's his whole thing. Like when he was young and healthy constantly, he was hitting bombs after bomb after bomb. But now he's taking a lot of breaks. He's still a threat to hit a home run every time he's up because he's Stanton. But
Yeah,
like it's a lot less likely now.
So I mean, I don't think Stanton's a Hall of Famer. If he gets the 500, that is such a milestone that I do think you got to say, fuck it, he is.
Who was all right, a little bit of trivia for you. Who was the last 3,000 hit? Who got to 3,000 hits the last?
Is it Miggy?
Miggy, yep.
Is it? Nice.
And then he did it in 2022. Pujols did it in 2018. Beltre did it in 2017. Suzuki did it in 2016. And then your boy A-Rod did it on a home run back in 2015.
Yeah. I remember that. Jeter did it on a home run too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That team was that left side of the infield between Jeter and A-Rod. I can't believe they only won. Did they only win one together?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, because A-Rod wasn't there for Jeter's first couple, right?
Yeah. I think A-Rod only played in one, and it was that one.
The 09, that team was disgusting.
That was a great fucking team. But just before we move on, Kershaw though, all-time game. I don't know if you watched it. All-time game.
Yeah.
It was like not a phone in sight when he got it. Not a phone. It's everyone enjoying the moment. It was the whole inning went down in a crazy way. The guy who was pitching for the White Sox outpitched him, and the Dodgers still found a way to win. It was an all-time game. Like Sean Burke.
Oh, he went at Kershaw?
Like he just outpitched him. Like he pitched better. Yeah, he pitched better. The bullpen came in and blew it. Dodgers were able to win the game. Kershaw gets no decision, but still better than a loss, right?
You agree he's a bona fide Hall of Famer, right? Like
Kershaw is, yeah. Kershaw was before he got this, and then he's just more so on the fucking thing.
I mean, he's just padding the resume at this point.
Seriously.
What do you think would be the next milestone? I kind of have one in mind. It's going to be it's a little out there, but I think it could happen.
So if we want to get like really silly with it, I did make a note. Like we saw Harper get 1,000 ribbies earlier this year. Trout's at 986, so we'll probably see Trout he's 14 ribbies away from 1,000. If he has a really good next week, maybe he fucking gets, close by the All-Star break. Salvi Perez at 966 career ribbies. We'll see him get 1,000 this year, I'm sure, or come damn near close. So I don't know. I think it's going to be like those little cutesy ones. If we're talking like the major ones, maybe Stanton gets to 500. If not him, Trout's 108 homers away from 500. That's a nice big old milestone for a guy who's at age of 33. But I didn't really look at pitchers. So I don't know.
So I was gonna say, Scherzer is almost at 3,500 strikeouts. He's a little over 100 away. Problem is, he's 40 like already. So there's not many people in that club. Like Verlander's at 3,476 right now, so he'll probably get it, depending on how much longer he pitches for. But Scherzer is at 3,423. So in all honesty, like I don't know how many games Scherzer's going to pitch this year. He might need to have like one more year in him to get to that.
I'm checking him out right now.
Greinke retired at 2,979 career strikeouts.
I know. Yeah, is he retired though?
I think he's retired. Isn't Greinke retired?
He's not active, but I don't know if he's officially retired. Maybe he is. I don't know. So, yes, okay. Yeah, I wonder how many starts he'll need to get to 3,500 max. That's pretty good. How about Verlander in 300 wins? You think that's possible?
Is he what's he at?
Like 262. The whole thing with him is that he wants to like go till he gets it. If he has to pitch till he's 45, then he will. Apparently.
I mean, Scherzer might do the same damn thing if I'm being completely honest. That's crazy. Nolan, I don't think anybody in the history will ever touch Nolan Ryan's strikeout record.
Yeah, neither do I. And I
Like
don't even know who
I think that is one of the untouchables that will never ever be even like sniffed at.
and I don't know who has the most wins. It might be like 500 or some shit. Like, no, I don't know if that's true. Isn't it like Cy Young has like 500 wins? That's crazy if that's the case. But Verlander at 262, which is a damn good number. But I feel he's still looking for. We'll see him actually. I think he's pitched against the Phillies to start the week. We'll see if Verlander can. He doesn't even have his first win as a Giant yet. He's 0-6 on the season. So maybe if he was like some of those could have been wins though. Like he has pitched well at times, but he doesn't have a win to show for. So maybe he was 3-3 instead. That's 265. Maybe he looks a little bit better. I don't know.
Is Verlander a Cy Young in your book? I mean, not Cy Young, a Hall of Famer.
He is, and I'm strict to who I let in, but Verlander, Kershaw, Scherzer are for sure. Yeah. Any position players that are active, I think I had to see more out of them. For being honest, that includes Trout. That includes a lot of guys. Personally,
really, you wouldn't give it to Trout
if you're like retired today.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. He would get in because of how lenient everyone is, but I have to see. I have to see milestones, and longevity matters. Milestones matter. I mean,
his injuries really did hinder his case because it used to be back in the day like it was a no doubter kind of thing.
Yeah, but even still, like you still have to like. How can you let a guy in the Hall of Fame that doesn't even have 1,700 hits?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he had his good prime. Like now, just work on the milestones. He gets to 2,300 hits, I'll be happy. I think he could do better. I think he could do better.
I mean, I feel like Mookie might be there.
Oh, Mookie's a good one too. Now,
what about your first baseman?
Oh, Paulie here. Let me see. So is Mookie 32? Is he only 32?
Yeah, like Mookie's gonna play for a little bit longer.
And he's got a 1,600, so basically 1,700, 3 hits away from 1,700. Love to see Mookie do it because he's scrappy, a little motherfucker. Like he'll do it. Let's see what Paul's. So I didn't include Paul because I think he's too old. He's at 2,100.
He's a 300 hitter.
I respect it. 289, not bad at all.
And he's almost at 2,000 hits too. We might see 2,000 hits out of him next year.
No, he's at 2,100.
Oh, I'm looking at some old list then. My bad.
So he's 37. His career 289 hitter with 2,100 hits. So the big thing with him is going to be like if he gets to around 24 to 2,500, then is he a solidified Hall of Famer? And in that process, can he inch closer to 400 home runs? I think if he hits like around 2,400 hits and it gets to 400 home runs, it's not impossible.
If you think about it, he's got the trophies too. I don't think does he have a World Series? I don't think so.
No, he doesn't.
He's got an MVP. He's a 7-time All-Star, has 5 Silver Sluggers and 4 Gold Gloves.
He's got the accolades for sure, and that's sexy. It's a good Hall of Fame case. I mean, here's what's going to end up happening. Like Joey Votto will get in when I don't think I wouldn't necessarily put him in, but whatever, people are going to vote him in. So Votto will get in, and then Scott Rowland already got in. That opens doors for guys. And now Votto will, and then Goldschmidt will.
Dude, the MLB used to be pretty stingy with who they let in, and you're right. I mean, it has gotten like looser as of late. Maybe it's because like the talent in general kind of like fell off for a little bit there, so they needed to. But like the people we saw when we were kids, there's going to be a lot like that. There's going to be people who don't get in that probably deserve to get in. I
think I could see it. I think a lot of it they have to compensate for. I don't see. This is why it's an interesting conversation of who gets the 3,000 hits. I don't know. I mean, the last people that have done it have kind of come through the 2000s and then the 2010s, realistically. And now it's like, well, the people that started their careers in the 2010s and then they are like in the 2020s now. Like it's a different era. Guys don't play as much, and I guess I don't know. There's a lot of injuries towards pitchers. I guess there are some stars that do get banged up all the time.
Yeah.
The top 2 home run guys currently in the league, Stanton and Mike Trout. I mean, those have been injury prone dudes recently. So who knows? I like to see Goldie do it again. He's got to inch closer to 400 home runs. He's at 2,100. He could finish the year with 2,200 hits, and then maybe play another 2 seasons. Get to close. If he's at 2,500 hits, 400 home runs, I'd be fine with letting him in.
Yeah. So There's just some other notables before we move on. You got to talk about like Nolan Arenado. You can talk about
Yep.
Harper, Machado, and then it will be interesting to see what they do with Altuve because he's got the hitting scandal and sign stealing scandal to kind of deal with. But he is an incredible player. He's already above 2,000 hits, I'm pretty sure. Probably at 300 stolen bases too. So that will be above 200 home runs also. So he's got a lot of hitting accolades, and pretty sure he's probably been a Gold Glover before as well. I don't know, maybe he has, but with his he's obviously a World Series a two-time World Series champion. So he's got the stuff. It's just will they let him in with that cheating scandal? But we will see. What do we have next, Spin? Little update.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Fucking these fuckers.
Yeah, dude.
How about these guys, huh?
I'll let you talk about this one, Spin.
No, it's good for them. It's good, and I don't know if I told you this yet. I'm not rooting for the Yankees anymore. Like I'm praying for their downfall. I'm praying on their downfall. It's the only way that we can do anything.
See, I haven't heard this yet. So you want a complete
okay. I want everyone to get fired, and that's only going to happen if they suck. Because this is what did happen. Okay, fuck the Blue Jays for a second. This is what ultimately happened. What was that World Series? What was that pennant last year? What was it good for? Okay, got the monkey off the back, maybe of because they haven't gone to one since 2009, so it's been 15 years. And it gets the monkey off their back. Maybe they can exhale a little bit, but not too much because they got embarrassed in the World Series. That's what they did. They got embarrassed in the World Series. The better team won, clearly. The Dodgers deserved to win it. And all of that did was, okay, you got embarrassed in the World Series. You didn't really compete. And then all that did was extend Aaron Boone. So now Boone looks like a guy who led you to a World Series, but you didn't look good in the World Series anyway. And not like Boone has been doing anything extravagant. It also got Soto paid. That's all the World Series was good for, because now Soto looks great that he went over to the Yankees for 1 year and got them to their first World Series since 2009. And then Boone looks like the manager who was part of so it extends Boone, it gets Soto paid, and other than that, what's it good for? It's the same brand of baseball for probably the past 10 years. I remember I did a history lesson when you were on vacation. I went as far back as 2022, and it's the same shit. I really need them to not make the playoffs, and then hopefully and then hopefully everyone gets fired. I need everyone to get fired because what the fuck else is happening? I think Cashman is fine at his role, but I think his time is up. Cashman was there since the 90s, and he's not even that old of a guy. He can get a job somewhere else, but he's got to go. He's won his World Series. It's fine. Boone, it didn't work out. Okay, fine. Fuck it. We got to keep plowing through.
For as long as I can remember, you played the same brand of baseball over and over and over again. It was live or die by the home run. You keep on bringing in these home run hitters who are, maybe a little bit on the older side, this, that, and the third. And then I also want to pose a question to you as well, since we're still in the Yankees. What do you think about Volpe? Because he's horrible.
Yeah, he's been bad. I think you can disguise it better if they could build a fucking better team. I think it's always going to come back to the top. I mean, you can't bring, and no one's really talking about this. Everyone's just going to be quick to shit on Anthony. I still like Anthony. I thought like so many other people thought this was year 3. Volpe was the year he takes a bigger leap. I get it. But at the same time, if you could disguise him in a lineup that he's batting 8th and he doesn't have to, and there's good hitters around him and there's different hitters around him, because even Volpe is going to be strikeout or home run type of guy. He's kind of like that too. And home runs shouldn't be his game. Even Chisholm, who's an all-star this year, which was a shocker, and I'm happy about it, but shocker. And it's he's a little bit homer. Use your fucking legs. Where's the Punch and Judy guys that Volpe and Chisholm can be? If Volpe could use his legs and not try to worry about the home run, maybe he finds his way on base a little bit more. Maybe the average is tickling closer to 250. Because realistically, I don't need him to be like a 300 hitter. If that's what you thought you were getting, then who gives a shit? It should be he's a 250 guy he's not. But I think at the very best, my expectation for Volpe at his best would be a 250 guy, and then maybe flirt with 2020 seasons. But he has to be more punch and Judy and spray the ball all over the yard, utilize his legs. If you can do that, not only does the average go up, but I think the homers will come a little bit. I think the homers will come if you're just trying to put good wood on the baseball and scatter the ball and hit the ball where it's pitched. I know it's easier said than done, but I think you can disguise Volpe more in a lineup that wasn't all of just so laissez-faire.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to step it up. It's no secret. He's going to have to step it up. That's no secret either.
Yeah, so he like Volpe, he's like dead last or like first, however you want to put it, with like runners in scoring position. That was like the big talk of the town. My boy Castellanos is even on that list as well. But like he's also top 10 in the league right now in errors as well. So it's like, do you think it's more how talented he is? Like, do you think they just miss in that portion? Or do you think it's a little bit more of like the New York media? Like getting to him, he's in his own head. Like he's a young kid. Like you said, it's only his third year. Where do you think this is all coming from, basically?
Well, you know what a lot of it is? It's false expectations, maybe. I think anytime you have a homegrown shortstop, in the Yankee organization, your mind goes to a certain guy.
Mm-hmm.
I got him on a book. But realistically, I don't know. Those shouldn't have been the expectations. So I think part of it, Yankee fans, you did it to yourself. I'm not in this boat. A lot of times I like to say we, but I'm not in this fucking boat because I don't jump out of my shoes for players. I don't. I took, how long it took me to fucking finally like Ohtani? Fucking took me like 3. It took me like 3 years to finally fucking, maybe in 2021 was when I finally was like, okay, Ohtani's good. Because it's his rookie year, then it was a shortened 2020 season. The sophomore slump's a thing, and then you got to, you can't jump out of your shoes for these motherfuckers. And I think people did for Volpe, and people made the comparisons. Oh, he's a Yankee shortstop, homegrown kid, high draft pick,
Italian,
dude from Jersey. Yeah, people like it. He was from Jersey, the homegrown or whatever, local. And you do that, and it's like, well, you got to let the kids play. And you can't. I don't know. You can't have false expectations. Now, granted, I thought he was year 3. He was going to take that leap. I did. He hasn't yet.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. So
I guess he is in his head, though. He has to be in his head.
It seems like he is in his head because I don't remember him first coming up making this many errors when he was out on the field.
He was a Gold Glover in his rookie year, and that was one of the promising things about him.
And he was at least you guys had a lights out shortstop who was going to go get a ball in a hole and make the routine plays and everything. He just seems like he's so deep in his head when he's at the plate and now in the field too. It's just maybe this All-Star break will be good for him.
I think so too.
Because I also never really prey on the downfalls of like young guys because I want the league to be exciting later. So I want these young guys to do good. I want them to do well. Like I'm hoping that the White Sox shortstop they just brought up, Colson Montgomery, he's good. I hope the guy over in Arizona, Jordan Lawlar, I think his name is. I hope he does Lawler, well when he comes up, Lawler. There's so much young talent like Jackson Holiday at second base. I hope he turns it around. I think we're going to talk about All-Stars later. But like I hope these guys do well because I want the future of the league to be in good hands. I guess you could say.
Yeah, and Volpe's never did anything to anybody. But did you see the except for piss off Yankee fan, that's about it. But did you I think Judge was like running out to his position and whatever, and Volpe was taking ground balls. He hit fucking Judge in the face with like a throw of it. Judge was okay. He got a little stitched up. He stayed in the game. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's like the last straw almost. But no, like, everything's just going wrong for him. He can't catch a break anywhere. I think, I mean, I don't know if you got to change your approach or something, but it's also, it does come back to the top. And listen, Anthony, you're part of an organization that kind of sucks cock right now. So, and they suck cock it isn't a good organization. I mean, you look at there's some really bad organizations in the league, and here's some of the orgs that are better. Washington Nationals over the past 15, 16 years are a better organization than the Yankees. The Braves have 39 wins right now over the past however many years, better organization than the Yankees. The Mets are not. The Phillies are, though. The Cubs are. Milwaukee probably isn't. St. Louis, I would say, is. Cincy, no. Pittsburgh, no. Dodgers, yes. Padres, probably not. Giants, yes. Diamondbacks, probably not. Rockies, definitely not. That's just the National League. Like, they're not as at the top of the heap as people think. Like, that's just the National League. And you look at everyone who has won in that span. Like, the Nationals won in that span. And they have 37 wins right now. But over the past 16 years, I'd say they're the better organization. They fucking won. What have the Yankees done? Suck cock?
I don't like I wouldn't say some of those like the Yankees aren't a terrible, terrible run organization. I think it's just they're so cocky. I think that's what it is. They're like, we're the fucking Yankees. You're gonna do it how we say, yada yada yada. Our way is always right, kind of thing. And it's not. It's just not right. Almost.
I
You know
think
what
they're
I mean?
complacent. I think this is a
Could be.
complacent organization. I think they get pampered. I think the players get pampered. I think Booney babies them. I think the man. I heard this quote the other day. I think it's a good quote. The manager is kind of yes, like maybe the face of the team, but like represents like the mantras of the team. And when you hear Booney's stuff, and I understand he's not going to out his guys to the media. I get it. At the same time, Yankee fans don't want to hear you pampering and babying these guys. Volpe, speak of the devil, gets thrown out at third base. This was wild back. It was like a month ago. And in a pivotal situation, this is like the Red Sox series when they were losing. Maybe they got swept in Fenway. And he steals third in like extra innings. He's the runner on second. He gets thrown out. And it's like Booney is like, oh, I like that. No, you don't, Aaron. Like, no, Yankee fans don't want to hear you. Just because I get you don't want to out your guy, but you can meet someone in the middle. You don't have to out your guy, but you also don't have to bullshit everybody and feel like these guys are pampered. This segment's the Red Hot Jays. I can't, and I'm just shitting on, but like you get the point. I mean, the only reason we're talking about the Jays is because they switch spots with the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees, that's how bad the Yankees have been. And Booney, they're complacent, I think, from top to bottom, a somewhat complacent team. They're just happy with being over 500. They haven't been under 500 since 92. And as long as they can keep that streak alive, then they're happy. They're complacent. Yeah. They're happy to be like a winning team at the All-Star break. And if they can skate into the playoffs, oh, yay. But, they're happy to get to a championship series. Anything else is better. Is like a bonus for them. It's a terrible way of thinking.
And it also sucks because you have one of the best players ever, like one of the best right-handed hitters ever playing for your organization right now, and you're saying a die-hard Yankees fan being like, I want them to lose so that everybody gets fired, and it just that.
I might be the only one saying that though. I might be the only one saying that.
I would guarantee you are. But I mean, in all honesty, I don't think like the AL's weak. So, like, if you guys got into the playoffs, like, you have the Astros and the Tigers. But who the fuck else do you – I mean, you have two guys in your own division, the Blue Jays and the Rays, who are playing good baseball right now, but they're both beatable teams. You know what I mean? Like, the Yankees, they should be, like, salivating at this with how weak the AL is.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely weaker. And then if you are the 4 seed, which if the season would end today, Yankees would be the 4 seed. You're getting through, you have to get through like 3 guys just to win a pennant. And then you got to say, oh, hopefully who are we going to face in the World Series? The Cubs, the Phillies, the fucking Dodgers, the fucking this person, it's like, holy shit. You still gotta fucking, there's a good chance. I mean, they get embarrassed again. I mean, the last 2 times they made the playoffs, they got embarrassed. We saw the World Series last year. Didn't look great in the time. People forget 2022 when they made the playoffs and, they got swept out of Houston in the championship series. They look like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, since this segment's actually called the Red Hot Jays, we'll talk a little bit more about the Blue Jays now. But the reason we're talking about it, 9-1 in the last 10, 8-game win streak, 52-38 on the year, leading the AL East. Spin, what do you credit to? Basically, where do you think it's all going right?
Yeah, it's a good question. Wow, this is a good little segment now. It's better to think about the good things instead of just shitting on the Yankees, even though they deserve all the shit. But they're getting it. They're getting it. Don't worry, they're getting it. They're living it. Toronto is really good because you got to tip your hat to their pitching. I think we knew their pitching was going to be. We talked about this months ago. I don't know if you remember, but it's clipped on TikTok. I remember talking about how Toronto's always kind of had the arms. They just never were all good at the same time. And now we're seeing it, right? Bassett and Berrios and Gausman, all very reliable arms. Not that anyone's having like a stellar season. I don't know if any of those guys are all-stars. We'll
you can throw Berrios in there too.
Yeah, Berrios, Bassett, Gausman. And like I said, I don't know if any of those guys are all-stars, but when we look in a second, I guess we'll see. Doubt that any of them are, but they're all reliable pitchers, all 3 of them. You throw Scherzer and his fiery mentality in the mix and his veteran and his wisdom. I think it makes for a good staff. And then I like what they're getting out of their supporting cast members, or basically I don't even know if they're you can call them supporting cast members. These are basically no-name dudes. And Addison Barger, who's the dude with the fucking mustache, a strong mustache. All these guys, you're getting Dennis Schneider might be a dude. You're getting some really
Ernie
good stuff
Clement.
out of them. Ernie Clement, another guy. You're getting some really that's a good pull. You're getting really good at bats and production out of these guys, which really helps fuel it. And then yes, I think we all expected Bichette to bounce back this season. I certainly did. I thought he was a value pick in fantasy. Of course, Vladdy's going to be Vladdy. Kirk is kind of hit or miss, but he's an all-star. That guy is an all-star, and he's looked really good, and he's been an all-star in the past. They do look at him to be one of their big bats and a good offensive catcher, and he has been, and things are just going right. Everything's going right. They touched on a lot of things in the offseason. Santander comes back. That'll deepen a lineup. I guess Jimenez has been fine. Springer's there. Like, they seem to be they've touched on some things, right? They touched on pretty much all facets of their game. They touched on their bullpen in the offseason. They touched on the starting rotation in the offseason. They brought Santander and Jimenez in. Santander's been hurt, but they touched on a little bit of everything. And when your supporting cast members can complement your stars and you have a good, well-rounded staff, look at you. Look at you. Plus the division sucks.
Yeah, so you touched on all of it there. You have to give their pitching some credit. You don't want to give them all the credit because they aren't like those all-stars, like you said. They're not going to blow you away, but they have 3 solid guys at the top of the rotation who are going to keep you in games for your offense to win. And I think that's the biggest part. It's like keeping them in games till their offense wins it. You touched on all of them. Their supporting cast members have been fantastic, but one guy I don't think you talked about enough was George Springer.
Yeah,
George Springer has been unbelievable in the month of June, also July. I think even made a case that he should have been an all-star this year.
Whoa.
Yeah, over the past 30 days, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. He's batting .344 with a .957 OPS, just under 1,000 OPS. He's been freaking killing it for them. And then you also talked about it. Bo Bichette, bounce back year. Vladdy, doing Vladdy things. And Alejandro Kirk, out of nowhere. He's been unbelievable. I'm pretty sure he's batting over 300 this year. Let's check.
I think you're right.
He's batting 301 on the year. Like, he's been unbelievable for them as well. So,
and this is all without their big offseason acquisition because that was Santander. I would say
Santander hasn't played in how long? And he ended before he left. He was batting under 200 with only 6 bombs.
Yeah. So, and I wasn't high on Santander to begin with. I thought it was a good little move for them. Deep in your lineup, give you like a good piece. Yeah, fine little piece. I thought. But he was, like him or hate him, he was their big offseason acquisition, and they've been really turning it around without him. I like to think, Higgins contagious when he comes back. I think he'll just deepen the lineup. I don't know what his production is going to look like. He's not going to do what he did last year. I remember saying that at the beginning of the season. That's why I wasn't high on him. But he's going to add to it. I don't think he can't make it worse, right? So good for you, Toronto, you fuckers.
I'll say this. Do you think they hold on to that number 1?
That's the next question, right? Is it sustainable? Yeah. I almost kind of want to say no, just because I do want to, even though I'm praying on the Yankees' downfall, so they fire everybody. I'm praying on them to suck out of love. I need them to stink so they can be good in the future. And if they stink now, maybe for the next few years they'll be good. But either way, I like to think that they can seriously turn it around. Tampa Bay's still going to give you a run for your money. So yeah, if you play a little king of the hill and now you're the top shit, there are some teams that are going to get you. They do want to get you. So maybe the Yankees are better as a second place team, and now they can try to get hot, try to fight for their spot and a way to get hot again. I don't know how, because we have to see like the Ernie Clements and the Schneiders and the Addison Bargers.
Yeah,
we have to see them in a full season, and if they can keep it up, why not? But there's something you could maybe say that if they start to trend down, Santander comes back and he starts to ignite everybody. They have a good little thing going in Toronto, so maybe I don't know if they're going to sustain a first place finish, but tough not to say that they're not a playoff team, right? They look like a fucking playoff team.
I'm going to say they're a playoff team. They're not a first place finisher, and that's strictly because of their pitching. I think their pitching is going to get them in trouble down the line. These guys might be playing well right now, but like I said, they're going to keep you in ball games. And right now, your offense is hot, and when your pitching can keep you in ball games, that's all you need when your offense is rolling, right?
Yeah, I do like their pitching.
Yeah,
I like that. I would say I do like their pitching in like a playoff series. I do think they have 3 guys that they can roll out that can pitch, that can keep you in games, and they're veteran, like they know how to pitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gosman's like there was a time when Gosman was like a top 3 Cy Young finalist. He's not that right now. But I think, in a big game, I wouldn't count him the fuck out.
Nah,
Same with Bassett or Barrios. And
yeah,
Barrios is actually might be having the best season out of all of them. He's the guy
I
that
think he
scares me
is.
the
He's got
most.
the lowest ERA, but he's got
Yeah,
the worst record out of the 3.
okay, well, lowest ERA, but he's the guy that does scare me the most. So
Yeah, so I mean, he's also got the most innings pitched. He's under in the strikeouts, but he's been, like I said, they're going to keep you in games, so they're going to be a fun team. I think the East is going to be a lot more fun than we thought about with the Yankees, and I think the Red Sox. I've said it all year. I think they might turn it around, make the wild card interesting. Like I said, the AL is not that good, man. It's not. There's not a whole lot of teams that you're going to compete with. So I could see 3 teams coming out of the East making the playoffs this year.
I could see, especially with how the Central looks, how it looks. And then should we look at the West?
The West, the Mariners kind of turned it around. They're on 7-3 in their last 10. They just swept. God, who they just sweep?
Good. I have no clue. I didn't
I
watch.
don't know, but they shut out. They shut out the team all 3 games.
Did they?
Yeah.
I did not see.
So I mean, still, holding a team to no runs in all 3 games. Credit to their pitching. That's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, credit to the Pirates offense too, because that's pretty impressive.
But I mean, listen, if the Mariners pitching can bring it around, maybe it'll be different. But I still see three teams. I don't know how Texas is looking. They're still mid as hell. So
yeah. Yeah, I guess they're flip flopping a little bit with the Angels. It's been a big fight for third place between Texas and LA. I'd like to see, Cleveland really fell off. Let's go.
Yeah, they're on like a 10-game losing streak, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, they are. Good. Oh my gosh. Here, but I do know the Stros are really hot, and they are always a scary fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find this one comment when we were talking about it on TikTok. We clipped the one.
Oh, about the Guardians?
Who was the dude that was like, we were like, how many teams come out of the Central? I'm going to shit on this kid.
Oh, we were talking about how we thought the Royals were going to, and not the Twins or the Guardians.
We were like Detroit and, where the fuck is it? How many teams? It's like, how many teams come out of the Central? Oh, here we go. How many teams come out of the Central? Obviously clueless. Cleveland will make the playoffs. And then I go, as a Yankees fan, I love that. And then he goes, Yankees are 3-3 versus Cleveland this year. So what is there to love? And I said, Yanks generally spank them in the playoffs. Which is true. I mean, do you not fucking know anything? Like, come on. Yes. As a Yankees fan, you want to face Central opponents because guess what? You're not going to beat the Detroit. You're not going to beat divisional round teams like the fucking Rays, and you're not going to beat these motherfuckers here in Houston.
Hold on, my computer's about to die. Let me grab my charger. Keep the people entertained.
Okay. But go check that out on TikTok because that guy, Cleveland, is so much better. Well, guess what? They're 8 games under. They're now in 4th place. KC's look better than them, so you got to love that. And as far as the Astros are concerned, 20 games above 500, 55-35. How do you like that? 8-2 in their last 10. 3-game win streak, little sweep there. So Seattle swept the weekend too. But didn't Houston sweep the Dodgers?
Yes. Houston swept the freaking Dodgers.
They're the real fucking deal. And they're never not the real deal.
Yeah, and it sucks because I think I sent you one of the TikToks that I saw. They're actually one of my favorite guys. I think they're can't remember their names. Let me look at it. But they clipped themselves and they were like, don't you ever hate when you stupid shit just comes out of your mouth? And it was a clip of him saying the Astros aren't the real deal. And then they go in and they sweep the fucking Dodgers.
I love that.
I just want to give them credit. Is it? I'm not Just Baseball Show. Those guys are just awesome. What they touched on in that video, like how they had every reason to suck this year. They just got rid of Kyle Tucker. Like it should have been a down year. Everybody was just getting older, but guess what? Cam Smith got drafted last year. They started for him in a completely new position out in right field. He's one of the better hitters in baseball at 286 on the year, playing a really good defense. Jeremy Pena's resurgence came out of freaking nowhere. Now he looks like he's an all-star, should be an all-star. I argue he should be freaking starting too. But like that's another conversation. Altuve still getting it done, 16 bombs on the year. Isaac Paredes came back alive. He's had 18 bombs on the year. And guess what? They're doing this all without Jordan. Jordan sucked before he got hurt, and he's still hurt. He's still not playing. Like they're doing it all without him. And then you even get Framber and Hunter Brown, who are like potential Cy Young candidates. It's just unbelievable. Brian Abreu and Josh Hader in the pen. This team is terrifying. Like I would, if I was on the AL side of things, I would not want to play them at all.
And they're really doing a lot of it without Christian Walker too, right?
He's hitting 231. He's been out of it too.
So he's been quiet, but they got enough around him. And I think their catcher was supposed to be better. I thought he would be. Maybe he's picking it up as of late. What was his name? Yainer Diaz. He was a top 3 projected catcher for fantasy entering the season, and he was coming off a really good season. He's picking it up a little bit, Yainer. Yeah, he's looked good in his last few games. But okay, yeah, good for you, Yainer, because he's a good little catcher too if he gets going. But yeah, this is a team I did have them making the playoffs at the beginning of the season. I had them as a second place team though, however, because I was higher on Texas. But I still thought there was enough juice there. But I did think that this was maybe enough juice to get you to the playoffs, but maybe also be the start of a little bit of a downfall for them. And I thought they were still going to be good and relevant, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. And they're still as scary as they've been pretty much since the AJ Hinch era or the Dusty Baker days. And now they're doing it with a different manager and Joey Espada. Right now, I guess Altuve is really the only constant from those teams, at least as far back as 2017, that is. And they just do it. They just continue to do it. They got some no-namers in their rotation to give you good outings. Really good.
That front office is unbelievable because, like, their scouting department needs a raise or something. Because they get, like, these role players that come out of nowhere, and they're like, that guy's got something. And then you put him in a winning organization like that plays a good brand of baseball. Guess what? They do all the little things right. They'll get home runs every now and again, but they're going to hit with runners in scoring position. They're going to move a runner over. They're going to play solid defense. That's a team that's extremely hard to beat.
A well-oiled machine. They've been so for a long time. And you know what they do most importantly? They take care of fucking business. And that's what it is. You go to Chavez Ravine, and yes, it's one thing to go to the Dodgers and win this and, play well, play them hard, compete, win a series even. It's another thing to sweep them. I mean, you don't see the Yankees aren't a team that's going to do that, let alone win a series. Like, I wouldn't expect the Yankees to sweep. They don't take care of business. Astros take care of business. They'll go in and they'll kick your fucking ass. Like good on Seattle to stay not neck and neck, but to stay relevant in this division and sweep a series. While your division rival's kicking ass, you got to start winning a lot of games to kind of make up some ground. Good on Seattle to sweep, but they did it against the Pirates. Okay, I'm not knocking them, but that's good. But Houston, on the other hand, you're not making up any ground because Houston's going to take care of business against a team like the fucking Dodgers. I mean, they take care of business. How can they're spectacular. I think there's only about you can count on one hand the amount of teams that are actually like take care of business teams. Houston's one of them. I'd throw Detroit in the mix. Whoever else you want to put in, but you can count on one hand teams that actually will go in somewhere and demolish you. And Houston's one of those teams.
Yeah, so you make very solid points with all of it, basically, I would say. But what's the next one? All-Star talk?
All-Star talk? Let's get into this.
These assholes. Fan votes sucked. The reserves sucked. Let's throw it up.
Well, I don't know if it's that. So let's see, because I don't know them too well. So we know the starters. Let's just refresh ourselves.
The starters I don't really have a problem with on the AL side, except for maybe you want to put Rooker in at that DH spot.
And I guess Buxton instead of Javi.
Yeah, I don't mind the whole Javi thing though. You know what I mean? I don't mind it.
I mean,
Buxton might be deserving, but
Buxton still made it, so that's good. He's deserving to be an all-star. If you're talking about whose numbers are better in a way to start, I mean, Buxton's numbers are better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think Javi Baez's numbers are like. I don't. If Javi Baez didn't get elected to start, I doubt he makes the team.
Yeah, Javi had. It's just a good storyline. Like the fans needed a storyline, and he was one of them.
Sure, and it's Detroit, and they're the best team in the AL and one of the best in baseball, so good for that. The only thing that does talk about the fan voting is I'm not terribly mad at it. I don't think there's going to be as many snubs as people think. We'll get into that in a second. But the thing that sucks about the fan voting is why would the top two guys like okay, so it was Ryan O'Hearn and Ben Rice were the top two voters fan votes at DH. I don't think Ben Rice deserved to make the team, and he doesn't make the team. But if he would have been the fan vote, he would have made it. And then if he doesn't get the fan vote, he just doesn't make it at all. So the top two guys at each position should be more deserving guys because Jackson Holliday might have been a top two at second base. Let's move on here. I don't think Jackson Holliday is on this team at all. So
No,
why
he's not. Who's Baltimore's representative? Ryan
O'Hearn.
Yeah.
So that's the weird thing with the fan vote to me. I don't think there's going to be as many snubs as people are going to talk about, and we'll get to that, like I said. But I think it's so weird to have the top two guys, but the top two doesn't even mean that they make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that is a very good point because like this whole entire time he's been sitting there like thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to be an all-star, and then he just kind of gets the rug pulled out from under him, kind of thing. But Rooker deserves to be there, and I think O'Hearn deserves to be there as well.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like they got the DH right. Ben Rice doesn't deserve to be there, or like I don't even think Jackson Holliday deserved it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying those are your top two. They were top two in vote getters, and now they just like it's so weird that they just don't make it at all. Like I don't know. I think that's the biggest issue to me for how the voting process works.
Yeah,
or
so
don't give people as much freedom.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. If we're gonna talk about snubs real quick, which I actually think this guy's gonna end up playing in it, but you want to talk about Junior down in Tampa Bay there. I think he's probably going to end up subbing in for Bregman. That would make the most sense to me. Like just swap a third baseman with a third baseman, and he also is very deserving of it. He's got 21 home runs and 55 RBIs. Like he's been unbelievable. But like then you have like Jazz Chisholm there, like maybe not too deserving of it. But who do you even put in his place? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and my other thing was, so Jeremy Pena's hurt too, and that's why between Bregman and Pena, that's why I think there's not as many snubs as people think. I don't know who people are saying are snubs for the AL side. I feel like we're missing somebody. I mean, I know Trout got a lot of votes for the outfield, but I don't know if he's deserving per se. But either way, I mean, you're looking at like this, and one guy's going to replace Bregman, one guy's going to replace Pena. So if Caminano's a good one, I forget who else we said. Did we have any other? So Aranda made it, right? He was deserving.
Yeah, Aranda made it. We wanted Aranda, and Lau made it too. We were talking about him as well. I mean, maybe Holiday gets it with Pena coming out. Maybe Holiday will get the nod.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, a lot of second baseman. I think. I mean, it's crazy. So if you're looking at the surprises here, I mean, Julio Rodriguez is a surprise. He's hitting 247. So there you go. That's
I can't believe they gave it to Julio. Like that's why I brought up Springer earlier. Like I can't believe Springer didn't nod over Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think Springer would be a good replacement for somebody, but I just don't know who.
Yeah, what about even like maybe Bo Bichette's a replacement?
I would rather replace Springer as a replacement for Pena. I would do that.
And just have another outfielder kind of thing.
Yeah, because there's only 3 outfielders on the bench. There's already a lot of fucking middle infielders. Like Bob is there.
Wilson was starting shortstop. Good for him. He deserves it.
There's a handful of middle infielders. I don't need another Jackson Holliday. I'd rather put another outfielder in.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I just don't know if they'll do that.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows what the fuck they do? I think you got to go who's the most, whoever the most deserving is. And I mean, at least Chisholm is like 15 homers, 10 stolen bases, but again, 245. So he was a shock to me. I was shocked to see Chisholm there. Fucking J-Rod, another 240 hitter, which is crazy. I like Quan. I like him to start realistically, but I thought his numbers were trending. Oh, he's back at 298. There you go, Steven.
Yeah, but when you're a guy like Quan, you gotta hit above 300.
Yeah, you know but I mean? You do. But 298. I mean, he's always around 300. I think that.
Yeah, which is respectable. It's very respectable.
That consistency crushes. I can see him finishing the year over 300, so that's good. Brendan Lau, thank God, or else it would have probably killed someone. And Aranda, same way. And Kirk, really. There was a handful they did get right. Good to see Buxton there. You've been high on Buxton the whole way through.
He was deserving of it, I believe, this year.
I think he was. Here's the starting pitching. we talked a lot about these guys because hello, a lot of guys were on our just
Yeah,
how
I don't
good
have
the
a
first
problem with
half's going.
really a lot of these guys. Like Kikuchi, there had to be a representative from the Angels, so like I mean, he's had a decent year, you know. Like maybe you give it, you can't really give it to like a Neto or
Yeah,
anything like that. So like I don't really have a problem with anybody who's on that list right now.
unless you would say so. Evaldi's not on this. He did miss some time, but unless you want to say Evaldi over Kikuchi and then
Yeah.
Neto's your representative over Chisholm or something like that, who knows? But yeah, I mean Shane Smith deserved it. We knew that he was going to be the White Sox guy. I speculated that Kikuchi was going to be the Angel because who else the fuck would it be? Um, And then yes, so then here's the other thing with snubs, right? Because there's so many pitchers, and we talked about a few before. I know Evaldi comes to mind. Whoever else we mentioned on the AL side, I love to see Brian Wu there.
Framber's
When
not there.
Framber, okay, so that's another guy. But not everyone is going to pitch. So out of all these pitchers, only some of them are going to be even available to pitch on the All Star day. So with that being said, there's going to be replacements and additions being made. So yeah, I could see Framber being a late addition, Evaldi being a late addition. So again, I do think maybe even Rodon, who knows? But guys are going to get their flowers. So I don't think it's too bad. Here's one I did have a problem with though. Look at this. So there's a couple of relievers. I don't think Carlos Estevez gets enough love.
Or Durant.
Duran also. That's not a, so Estevez. Maybe did he? I mean, he has 24 saves.
Yeah, who do you put him over though?
Chapman. Yeah.
Hasn't Chapman been pretty lights out this year though?
I mean, not to the extent of Estevez.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Aroldis. I mean, yeah, better ERA with 15 saves. Not that Estevez has a
Well,
bad
also, does
ERA.
Boston have a representative other than Aroldis?
I mean, Bregman, he just wouldn't play, I guess. And
Oh,
and then
yeah,
Crochet and fucking Crochet.
Crochet, yeah. So yeah, they have two.
So who was I saying? Oh, Estevez. So they have Witt. Oh, and Bubic. But come on.
Yeah, is he leading the league or is Munoz still leading the league?
I'm not even on the good website right now. Oh no, Estevez leads the league in saves. So he's
That's
another guy.
That's
Maybe he can
freaking
come on.
wild. He's not. Wow.
And I don't think. I mean, I think Duran's a reliable guy, but he's got 13 saves at the 156. So really good, really good. But I mean, Estevez is the leader in
Oh
saves.
no, Hader has it.
Oh,
Has it.
it's like
25.
25.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he's next with 23.
Yeah, 24.
And then probably 24. And then Munoz with what, 21?
Yep, 21.
So those are your three in baseball or just the AL?
No, this is in baseball. Like Suarez is tied at the top with 25. It goes Hader and Suarez tied. Estevez at 24, Hoffman with 22, and then Munoz with 21.
Okay, so Hoffman's ERA might be a little higher.
Yeah,
but
it's above a 4.
But Estevez with like a 2-1 or whatever I just saw.
Yeah, he's got 2-1-3.
And fucking so I would like to see Estevez get a little love, but whatever. They're trying to add to Chapman's Hall of Fame resume or some bullshit. It's political, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we'll see. But we'll see. We'll see if Estevez can come on as like a late addition or like a replacement or something. We'll see.
Yeah, Duran doesn't have the save numbers that Estevez does, so that's a better one. That's a better, like, I guess, snub, you could say.
Yeah, but Duran damn good. It's a good mention. And you know what? If his team didn't suck absolute donkey dick, maybe he'd have more opportunities. So we all know so I don't know if we talked about this before. I thought Acuna was a little shocking to start for me.
Yeah, starter kind of a little over the top. He's been, granted, I cannot take anything away from what he's been doing since he's come back. Like, it's been nothing short of amazing. Yeah. But there's like, you got like Seiya Suzuki out there leading the league in RBIs, and he's not even an all-star, like, at all.
That's crazy.
Which he leads the MLB in RBI. Like, his numbers are off the freaking charts. He's been unbelievable. So that's where it gets a little shaky. Even like a Juan Soto, who's like shot out of a cannon in June, like he was unbelievable as well. So I mean, I don't know. I think Acuna should have been an all-star, just maybe not a starter.
It's such a heavy.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's such a heavy outfield on the NL. So yeah, I mean, it was shocking that he made it. You got to have the hometown kid, I guess, in the starting lineup.
My biggest problem is Lindor.
Yeah.
Like he should not be. I don't think should be starting in any way. Let me read you every category Trey Turner is currently leading. He's the hits leader in the NL right now. Actually, he might be the hits leader in the MLB right now.
He might be a little bit behind Judge, but
He's probably sorry. He is behind Judge. Now, this is how Trey Turner ranks among shortstops in the NL. Batting average first, hits first, stolen bases first, doubles first, runs second, triples second, OPS third. Not an all-star at all.
crazy stuff.
He didn't even get a freaking vote. Like that's pathetic in my eyes. It's pathetic.
Yeah, and I like Ellie De La Cruz ahead of Lindor too. So Lindor gets this is Lindor's first All-Star appearance as a Met, let alone start. So
it really? That's kind of nuts.
He's never been an All-Star as a Met. He's never been an All-Star as a Met. But again, the shortstop's a loaded position also. But I do think there are two better ones in the NL, Ellie and Trey. And I'm surprised Ellie didn't get more love because I feel like people like to jerk off Ellie, and he is playing.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. A lot of people really like Ellie. I'm shocked he didn't get more votes.
And I don't even know if he was a top two finalist. Who were it was Mookie Betts and fucking Lindor. So that's weird. Either way, I think Machado makes sense. Marte makes sense. I think Freeman makes sense, but I think Pete's having the better season.
Flip a coin with those two. Pete's been doing it all year. Freddie was hurt a little bit, so you can give him the edge there almost.
Sure, and I just think Pete's numbers are just flat out better than Freddie. But I'm not mad at it. I like Freddie. And I don't think we don't have a problem with the outfield, right? Just Acuna was weird, but I'm not mad at it. Whatever. PCA and Tucker makes sense. I voted for them. If my vote matters, maybe it's like any other election. I'm just fucking. Okay, so so there is Ellie. But wow, no Phillies on that bench. We see Schwarber, but no Turner. Ooh.
That's what I can't believe it. Shout out my boy James Woods, deserves to be there 100%. Okay. Yep. But then Tatis, somebody has to be representative from Miami. I believe Stowers does deserve it. Corbin Carroll deserves to be there. Suarez deserves to be there. Olsen, I'm iffy on. He's been all right. Hasn't been great. Has been all right. Donovan deserves to be there. Ellie deserves to be there. Pete Hunter all deserve to be there. This is why the NL is so crazy because you have to talk about Trey Turner, who deserves to be there. Bush over there and the Cubs. Cubs fans are having a heart attack that Bush and Suzuki did not make it. They're going nuts right now. Suzuki, I agree with because he's leading the league in RBIs. He's been unbelievable for them this year. If it was a whole Cubs outfield, I don't think I would have even batted an eye. Of course, I would like to see James Wood starting. But you also got to talk about Soto because he had a great second half of the first half of the year. And then also another Nationals player, CJ Abrams. He's been getting kind of slept on. He's been having a sneaky good year as well. So there's a lot of guys you could throw in there. But who do you replace him with? Like Miami has to have a representative, so Stowers has to be there. Like how has Tatis been? Has Tatis trended down?
He's been trendy for sure. 261 with 15 homers, 19 stolen bases. I mean, not terrible stuff. Not bad at all. 62 runs scored. I'm sure that's got to be at the top of the league in runs scored, and he steals bases. He hits tanks. He does it all. I'm kind of okay. I think I'm okay with Tatis. You also kind of go for like star power and shit. I don't think I like Matt Olson there. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, who do you replace him with though? Bush?
I kind of like the Michael Bush thing. If you're gonna go for one first baseman for another, their numbers are somewhat comparable, but Bush is better.
Yeah, Bush has had a pretty good year. He's been whenever we talk about the Cubs, we haven't talked about him a lot.
We haven't talked about Bush enough, or
it's bad on us. But like he has been pretty lights out for them this year. I don't have his numbers up right now.
297, 18 bombs, 56 ribbies.
Damn, never mind. Yeah, get him in there. I see why Cubs fans are kind of pissed off.
Olsen's comparable, 17 homers, 58 ribbies. So
what's his average at though?
But 267.
Yeah, so Bush is better in my eyes.
In my eyes, I don't know the slugging numbers and shit, but I would expect the guy with 297 and one more home run to have the better slugging numbers as well, and the better on base. His team wins, so he's more of a contributor, I would assume. But okay, fucking great.
25 and 77. 25 bombs, 77 RBIs batted in, 263 average on the year, and also on one of the best teams in the NL.
Who's that?
Seiya Suzuki. You gotta give him some love in there too. But like I said, like Stowers has to be there because who else do you send from Miami?
I mean, Schwarber probably deserves it, but he does get a little love because his name's Kyle Schwarber. Just say that.
That's true. I don't know where
Uh,
he's at in the home run category right now.
he's like 27. I just looked. I don't think his numbers are that not comparable to Seiya.
Oh, so your top five, so all five of the Seiya actually might have Seiya's got better numbers than Schwarber.
Oh yeah, I mean, but his average is better, and I think the ribbies are definitely better, and the home runs are comparable.
Yeah, so yeah, he might deserve to be in there. But Schwarber's the I guess we have Wheeler on the back end and the pitching staff, but
yeah, and I wouldn't mind cutting Carroll.
Really?
I said it.
Is he hurt?
No, he just came back. He's like for his first 9 off the IL, but I mean, I just thought he was trending down. He had a really good start to the season. He's been trending down.
Dude, that average is in the dumpster.
It's not like it could be salvaged, but
he's hitting 247 right now.
Yeah, so not,
all-star level, Marco.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. That's why I said I'd snub him, and only when you have a good crop. Like J-Rod, I think gets away with it a little bit, but also Corbin Carroll has 20 homers. J-Rod doesn't. But J-Rod on the AL side gets away with it more because I don't know who else. Where's that crop? The NL has a good crop. So if you got to cut somebody, maybe it comes down to the dude hitting 247 when you already have Suarez as a representative. And did they have any other Arizona guys?
No, that was it. No pitchers.
Ketel Marte.
Ketel Marte, yeah.
You already had those motherfuckers. So whatever. Let's look at the pitchers.
Marte is also unbelievable too.
Yeah,
he's disgusting in every facet of the game.
And by the way, I do like that Brendan Donovan's there. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know what Cardinal would make it, but love to see Donovan.
Yeah, and also I like that the Rockies kind of have a little bright spot with Hunter Goodman because he's been pretty good for him.
He deserved it. And I like Boydie there too. Boydie.
Yeah, Boyd. The pitchers, so the only thing I'll say about the pitchers, we talked about it. There's like 11 guys who are deserving of the Cy Young. So who got snubbed out of the people we listed from earlier? So Wheeler's there.
Abbott's not on this team.
Abbott's not there. Is Sale there? Yeah, Sale's there, but he'll get replaced. Yeah. Maybe Abbott could, but I also want to give a shout out to my boys in Philly, Christopher Sanchez. I think he's a little bit deserving to kind of have that, to be on this list of all-stars. Of course, Clayton Kershaw is going to get the legend pick. I don't necessarily hate that because I like that. I want that to continue. I like that the MLB does that kind of thing. Let these guys get in there. Like, I think they did it. Did they do it with Miggy and Pujols too?
Yeah.
So like, and that's nice. The fans like to see that. You like to see these legends there. And hopefully he throws. But like, dude, Christopher Sanchez is 7-2 with a 2.68 ERA right now. I think he deserves to kind of to be there right now.
Yeah, pitchers are going to be good because, yes, you talked about Sale will get replaced because he's banged up. And then whoever can't pitch that day. Because, there's going to be guys who had starts a few games before the All-Star break and aren't available to pitch. And then it's like, well, we got to have guys to fucking pitch. Who do we replace? So pitching, hopefully guys get their flowers.
And, I mean, Peralta, he's been great. But I feel like you could probably throw – I mean – actually, I like Freddie there. I'll keep Freddie there.
Yeah, and who else is there from his team? Nobody, right?
Who? No, Uribe. No, Uribe didn't make it. Shit.
I was kind of surprised Jason Adams did because it's tough when you're an eighth inning guy. And I think Randy Rodriguez is an eighth inning guy too. So no Robert Suarez because he's looked like shit the last few appearances. He deteriorated his chances of doing it, which fucks me because I have him in fantasy. In my one fantasy league, you get money if you have the most all-stars. So thanks a lot, Robert.
Jason, I have any actually.
No, you have all-star. Jason Adam, though, eighth. It's good to see someone from San Fran's bullpen and someone from San Diego's bullpen because they had stints where these were the two best pens in baseball. I think at the beginning of the year it was Jason Adam, Robert Suarez, and the boys. Jason Adams has prevailed, and I think as of late, San Fran's bullpen has been off really, really fucking good. So good to see guys from those pens make it. And then Edwin Diaz, I think his overrated career continues. No, maybe he's good.
He's had a good year. He's 18 out of 19 saved opportunities. He's got a 1.8. So they're gonna give it to him for sure.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good. He's good. Actually, yeah, he's good. He's fine. He's good. No, I don't know who else would make it. So,
like Finnegan.
Yeah, I don't think you would, right? I don't think you give it to Helsley.
I'm not gonna lie. I hope the NL loses just so I don't have to see Edwin Diaz do that fucking celebration when he saves the game. Oh God, that would ruin my All-Star weekend.
If they did the trumpets, no way they'll do the trumpets in Atlanta though.
No. Oh wait, we're in Atlanta. Never mind. They're gonna boo him.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah. So what? You are a NL cat.
Yeah, and you're an AL.
I'm an AL cat, baby. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we look like. I mean, can you bet on the All-Star game?
I think so. Yeah.
Or is that only for
like who wins the home run derby and everything?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, we got to. So I don't think the home run derby is set yet, right? We're still figuring out who, because Cal Riley for sure, Acuna for sure,
James Wood for sure.
Oh, James Wood joined. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I don't know who else is there. Schwarber said no.
I think Pete might have said no.
Pete did say no. Pete said this wasn't his year either. So who else would do it? Let's see.
Who knows? I don't know. It could be anybody.
Has Shohei done one yet?
I don't think so.
He probably wouldn't, unless he could bet on it. Suarez, maybe he'd do it.
Yeah,
like a junior, maybe like Riley Green throws his hat in the mix.
Oh, Riley, yeah, did he make it? He's on the team, right? Yeah, he's starting.
Yeah, maybe like Riley Green throws his hat in. I don't know.
Go, Riley. Let's see. Hobby bias. That's kind of dumb. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if maybe Javi does it. No, we'll have to see. Only if the pitch is like 3 balls outside, they'll fucking swing it. But either way, I think we'll have to see who officially becomes a snub, and then we can make our all snub team.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, the snubs aren't official. Like, there's going to be replacements. There's going to be injured reserves. There's going to be this and that. So we have to just wait and see.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that later. Maybe we could. We'll get into it later. We'll talk about Wednesday's show after. But maybe we could do a little bit of the draft we were talking about before.
Our All-Star draft?
Yeah, drafting All-Stars on both sides and whoever has the best team.
Oh, okay.
Like they've been officially announced, so we'll draft our starters. We can use both sides of it. Yeah,
okay. I'm here for it.
Okay. Do you want to get into this? Do you want to get into this week's recap real quick before we get off?
Yeah. Let's do a look ahead. We got a lot of aces coming up. I was also going to say for our home run derby, we got to make our brackets. Remember that happens when that gets announced. But first things first. Okay, we got to look at this. That's today at the start of the week, because we do have a lot of aces going. I think tonight and maybe the next few days.
All right. So first off, good series. Rays, Tigers, Baz versus not sure who they're throwing tonight. Then they got Pepio versus Flaherty, and then Littell versus Reese Olson. Going to be a good series. Rays and Tigers. Tigers sitting at the top. Rays looking to basically surpass the Yankees. They got to do it against a tough Detroit team in Detroit. I think Detroit still wins the series, wins 2 out of 3. Give me I'll have the Rays winning tonight and the Tigers win the next 2 probably.
Yeah, I think it's fitting that we're going to see some good pitchers in this because it is the David Price series. So I'll roll with that. Let's go Tigers 2 out of 3. Yankees need all the help they can get. And I'll see the Detroit help out the Yankees here and beat up on a division rival. Be great.
Then we get to Rockies, Red Sox. Not much to say here. Gomber, Freeland, and Santillana, and then Richard Dick Fitz, and then Brian Bello, Lucas Giolito. Red Sox need to sweep. Make this interesting in the East. Make it interesting, man.
I was writing this up, and I was like, Richard Fitz. Dick Fitz?
Dick Fitz. That checks out.
That's
another
name,
top name. We've seen some top names this year. Dick gets right in there. Dick Fitz gets right in there.
Dick Fitz is a good name. a good name for a Red Sox player. Because Yankees hogs are so big that they actually don't fit. No, okay, chill. But Rockies Red Sox. I don't have a good series name for this one. Blanking on it. I was trying to stall with the whole Dick Fitz thing. I still can't think of anything. But either way, yeah, Red Sox better take at least 2 out of 3, right? Or holy shit, it's in Fenway. Rockies are coming to Fenway, rematch of the 07 World Series.
And then we get to Marlins Reds, Junk, Perez, Alcantara, and 2 to be determined for the Marlins. Singer, Martinez, Abbott, and Lodolo. Marlins shocking a little bit of everybody here, sitting in third above the Braves right now. And then the Reds are actually just coming off a series loss to the Phils. I think this series gets split 2-2.
I don't hate that. You know who I do like? I like Jansen Junk. Kind of a cool name, for a pitcher. He throws junk or whatever, but like cool name. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he's been a little scrapper on the bump. The big day is gonna be Wednesday. Sandy Alcantara versus Andrew Abbott. Abbott's been a stud. Alcantara has not been, but I still think if there's anything worth saying about this series, maybe you tune into Wednesday. Sandy's trying to raise his trade stock. They hope he pitches well so they can get more from him at the deadline. But Abbott's been really good.
I think Sandy's had a couple good outings here in his past couple.
Yeah, I don't think he's been like dog shit, but I still think I want to say his ERA is like over 7.
He's been horrible. No, he had a good stretch for like 2 or 3 games, but he gave up 5, 7, 3, and 2 in his past couple and never get out of 6.
Yeah, I think his ERA is like over 7 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's gross.
It ain't great.
Not great, but Abbott has been good, and I think Sandy, that could make for his name is bigger and better than what he's been doing this year. But he's trying to raise his trade stock. We'll see what he does.
And then
he's going to go somewhere, right? He's going somewhere. So
yeah, he has to. This is like the last year they could ever get like at least anything for him. But then we get to Pirates Royals. Heaney versus Cameron, Keller versus Lugo, Falter versus Bubic. At least we're gonna see good pitching in this series. That's really the only thing I can say about it. Royals win 2 out of 3 probably.
I love to see the Royals sweep, but at the same time, Pirates just got swept over the weekend. They didn't even score a run, right? So
yeah.
Do they continue? Do they continue? Like, I want to see Kansas City take advantage of these bad teams, and they are at Kauffman Stadium. I would love to see that for KC. And if they sweep, they'll be 2 games under. Maybe they can continue to gain ground on Minnesota, who is ahead of them by a little bit right now. I'd love to see that, but I think the better way of putting it is what you said, 2 out of 3. But Cameron, Lugo, Bubic, those are 3 good pitchers.
I mean, on the opposite end, too, Heaney, Keller, and Falter have been pretty good for the Pirates this year, too.
Yeah, not mad at it. I think we will see some good outings here. Hopefully, advantage home team. And also Pirates suck.
Then we get to the Blue Jays, White Sox. Blue Jays should roll. You got Jose Berrios versus Sean Burke. That will be electric. Good pitching duel there. Like we said, Berrios isn't going to blow you away, but he's going to keep you in the game, and Sean Burke has shown pretty good signs. Then we got Bassett versus Savall and Lauer versus Hauser. Blue Jays 2 out of 3. I don't think they sweep. Everybody's got to lose at some point. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of how I'm painting this.
Yeah, so what do we got? This is Monday's game. So yeah, Sean Burke can shove, man. I just like he looked so good in his last outing against Kershaw when Kershaw went for the milestone. He crushed the Dodgers. They couldn't touch him. They go to the bullpen. The bullpen blows his lead and his win and the team win. So yeah, maybe Berrios can outduel him or the Blue Jays can get on him tonight. Even though Burke can shove for you, I can expect that to be a good pitching duel. Maybe they go to 9 straight wins and then. Maybe Bassett even pitches well. Maybe they go up to 10 straight wins, and then they run into Adrian Hauser, who has been really good too. So maybe I'll agree with you. 2 out of 3 in some way, shape, or form. But Toronto takes it.
And this is going to be one of the better series of the week, I guess you could say. Dodgers Brewers going to Milwaukee. Yamamoto versus Freddie Peralta, 2 Cy Youngs, 2 All-Stars right there. Kershaw, the old guy versus the young guy, Jacob Mizorowski, who's been electric in every single start he's been in so far. Then you got Dustin May versus Quintana. Talk about pitching, man. Wow, this is going to be a really, really good series. The Brewers are sitting at 50-40 right now, 4 games back. Dodgers are 56-35, 7 games up in the West. Spin, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I got to pull up what Jacob's doing. He's been fantastic. I actually just dropped him because I had to make room for someone. Jacob 3-1 with a 3.20. He had a rough outing in Queens on the 2nd of the month. So okay, no big deal. He's looked good for the most part. This time before that, he outdueled Paul Skeens. He was the home team. Now he'll be the home team when he faces Kershaw. So from a young buck in Skeens to a crafty vet who just made history his last start. Let's see. He's getting some good pitching matchups here to really welcome him to the show. He's only had 4 outings. This will be his 5th outing ever. So he's having some really good outings, and he's really held his own. So that's going to be really nice on Tuesday, Kershaw and Mizorowski. Tonight's going to be very cool, though, Yamamoto and Freddie. This is in Milwaukee, so we don't have that late-night bullshit, that West Coast stuff. We'll see Dodgers in Milwaukee. Yamamoto, Freddie, it'll be cool. They'll be teammates in like a week or so at the All-Star break in Atlanta. But for right now, they'll be competing. I want to see the Dodgers. You would have to expect the Dodgers take 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Milwaukee can hold their own. They're throwing out good arms, but didn't the Dodgers just get swept over the weekend? So they got to come back and win too.
Yeah, this is a big series for the Brewers because they have to take 1. You're ecstatic if you can take 2, but definitely just look to take 1. You got 3 guys on the bump you want there against your toughest team. This could be a future playoff series right here.
I could see it.
This could be a future playoff series, so we'll see. But we'll get into that. I'll go with you. Dodgers 2 out of 3. Guardians at Stros. Guardians extend this. Guardians have the longest losing streak right now, I think. Are they at 10
There's no way someone beats 10. They're at 10. There's no way someone has more.
Yeah, so 10 game losing streak. I think the Astros extend it, and I think they sweep them again. And it's 13. Fuck the Guardians. That guy pissed me off on our TikTok. I'm number 1 Guardians hater, with the exception to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, ever since that comment came up, I've been praying on their downfall, and this is just music to my ears.
Yeah.
No, no, I like that they want to back their guys, and I like Stephen Vogt. But listen, Guardians stink, and it wasn't their year. I did have them finishing in like maybe 2nd, but missing the playoffs to start the year. And now they're playing really bad ball. So they suck, and Astros are really good. So what did you take? The Astros 2 out of 3.
Sweep, and they extended to 13 losing streak.
Good. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Astros sweep. I'll ride it.
And then we get to Rangers Angels. Only real interesting part of this is going to be DeGrom versus Kikuchi, a pair of all-stars, going on facing off against each other tonight, probably late game. But then you get Eovaldi, Rocker, and Corbin after that, and then Soriano, Hendricks, and Kachanowicz. Yeah.
Kachanowicz, yeah. So tonight's going to be cool. DeGrom and Kikuchi. Again, like you said, pair of all-stars. But that's what's cool, right? You got a lot of all-stars, a lot of aces dueling early in the week. And then, of course, we'll see Eovaldi tomorrow, a guy who maybe makes an all-star team. We'll see. I love to see realistically, these teams are so even. I could see a split. But I love to see the Rangers take 2 out of 3 in Anaheim.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's a 4-game series, so I'm gonna go with 3 out of 4 Rangers.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and then we got D-backs Padres, 2 NL West teams pairing off. Gallen, Kelly, and Fat with also Erod on Thursday. But then you got Hugh Darvish making his first start, and then the Padres aren't really sure who to throw in the next 3 days. It's probably going to be up in the air. Dude, if the Diamondbacks could take 2 out of 4 here and close a little bit on, because like they're under 500 again, 3-7 in their last 10.
They could never just keep it up. So it looks like Randy Vasquez on Thursday. Who else? Looks like Dylan Cease.
Probably.
Dylan Cease on Wednesday. And then whoever Tuesday is, I don't even know. Maybe it's that one fucker. Is his name Steve? Oh no, it's Pivetta on Tuesday.
Oh, so they got a good amount of. They got to get some good pitchers thrown for them. I'd probably go Padres. 3 out of 4 here, but I'm hoping the Diamondbacks can take at least 2.
Yeah, every time you want them to get going, now that you look again, they're back under 5. Like, what the fuck, Arizona? Can you figure the fuck out? And I don't think San Diego's like, holy fuck. I mean, they're kind of they just got off to such a hot start that they can kind of afford to be a little middle of the road, and then
Yeah.
have a much needed break, and then maybe get hot again. Um, Arizona really can't afford to be lackadaisical at all, but they're not like totally. I don't know. Maybe
They're
they are.
four
Maybe
and a
not.
half back in the wild card. That's really the only thing they're looking at right now.
I'd love to see him split this. Love to see him split this. Let's go. Hopefully they take advantage of Darvish. Maybe he doesn't go that deep. Gallon, let's go. If Darvish doesn't go deep, maybe their bullpen gets fucked. Maybe Merrill Kelly can do well. Maybe Fat can keep you in a game. Like you want to almost believe in them, but man, they make it hard to believe. They really do. And they
Yeah.
have that dork fan. Ugh.
Yeah. But
I
then
wonder what their record is since that fan. It's not. It hasn't been. It's probably a losing record. They're 3-7
the
in their
house
last 10.
great. They're 3-7. So,
Yeah.
but then we get to Phillies Giants. Good series. Sanchez versus Rupp, with Mick Abel going back down. Taijuan Walker is going to make a start versus Robbie Ray, and then Jesus Luzardo versus JV. This is going to be a tough one for the Phils. They're going to San Francisco. Sanchez is going to deal tonight. Walker, hopefully he can keep you in a game versus a Robbie Ray, who is obviously an all-star. Cy Young some people can throw him in the top 10 of Cy Young probably this year. We miss Webb, but we're still getting Ray. And then Luzardo has not looked good, man. Going off against Verlander, who also hasn't looked good. So this is going to be a real interesting series. I'm hoping the Phillies can take two, but we'll see.
I'd love to see the Phils take two, of course. So don't know who the Mets are playing. So you want to continue to gain ground, because it's a tough opponent. I mean, the chances are that the Mets. Did we say them already?
No, they're playing the Orioles. They're next.
Oh, they're next. Okay. So yeah, the chances. So the Mets have the more favorable matchup. Chances are the Mets can really take care of business against a bad Orioles. So you got to stay afloat. What is it? Mets are 1.5 back. So big, tough series, big series. Continue to be the top dogs of that division because the Mets have a more favorable matchup. I'd love to see Christopher deal. Like you said, Ty won't keep you in a game, but Robbie Ray could very well outpitch you. And then a toss-up between Luzardo and JV. You kind of almost want to say that the home team might toss-up goes to the home team. But I don't know. I think the Phillies have been playing better. I think the Giants have kind of cooled down a little bit. 5-5 of their last 10. They're a third-place team. So we'll see. Love to see the Phillies 2 out of 3, though.
Yeah. Then we get the Mets Orioles. Holmes, Peterson, and Not Sure versus Young, Sugano, and Morton. In Camden, Mets playing better baseball than they were, and that's not really saying much. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're playing middle of the road baseball right now. I think they won their last series. Forgot who they played, but I think they won it.
Oh, they played the Yankees. They did one.
Yeah. Sorry. Then we get. But I think the Mets are going to win this series as well. Take 2 out of 3 against the Orioles.
They very well should. I think the Orioles swept Atlanta in their last series. Puts them at 9 games under. How do you like that? Baltimore, 3-game win streak, 6-4 in the last 10. Don't let them get hot. Now it's too late. Baltimore, you're fucked. I think Clay Holmes and Peterson can very well shove. Brandon Young, I looked at his numbers when I was writing this up. He's like 0 and 3 with an ERA of over 7. Not good stuff. But hey, anyone can beat anybody. But yeah, Mets 2 out of 3.
I'm hoping they take more than 2 out of 3, but they'll probably But then we get to Mariners Yanks. 2 MVPs facing off. Mariners just swept. Yankees lost their series. Gilbert versus Warren, Evans versus to be determined, and Stroman making his first start versus Brian Wu.
Second
start. How did he do in his first, Stroman?
I think he looked all right. It'll be like a second start off the IL. He pitched against the Mets. What did he do? 5 innings, 3 earned. He got no decision. Not bad.
Not bad. Stroman's never going to be like your ace, but
I guess actually this would be his third start. Yeah,
really?
It'd be his third start off the IL. I guess he pitched the June 29th, 5 innings, 1 earned against the A's. I forgot about that one. And then this was
I hate to say it, Spin, but I think the Yankees are going to take 2 out of 3 here.
Fuck, dude. They're gonna get over 50 wins, and then Boone's not gonna get 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be at home. That's good. This is Tuesday stuff too. So, yeah. I mean, I love it. You got to be wary of Gilbert. You got to be wary of Wu. Sometimes the Yankees don't hit good pitching, but sometimes they also can take advantage of, teams that you're not really scared of. So there's that. I'd love to see him take 2 out of 3. I'm not shocked if they lose 2 out of 3.
All right, then we get Cubs Twins. This is probably short, sweet, and to the point. Imanaga, Horton, Ray, Woods, Richardson, Festa, Paddock on the opposite side. Cubs sweep.
Yeah, I should have said that the Yankees Mariners was the Ichiro series or the Cano series or the Randy Johnson series. What would be the Cubs and Twins? That's a hard one, huh? Wow, Cubs and Twins.
Justin Morneau never played for the Cubs. Where'd Justin Morneau come from? The A's?
I thought he came up through Minnesota. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
No, this is how we're also going to take a Cubs sweep because fuck Minnesota. I cannot think of a then there's definitely some. Damn, sound off in the comments, guys. Cubs Twins, what do we call that series?
I don't know. But then we get Nats Cards. Only thing really great about this one is we get Mackenzie Gore versus Sonny Gray. Nationals just firing their GM and manager, so hopefully they bounce back. But Jake Irvin versus Palante. Like I said, Gore versus Sonny Gray Wednesday. And Mike Soroka versus Miles Michaelis. Cards 2 out of 3. I think the Nationals will probably win 1, but I don't think this changing their manager is really going to change a whole lot, honestly, for them this quickly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another series for this. I'm just trying to think of the names of these series, and I can't think of shit. I'll also say Cards 2 out of 3. I love the Mackenzie Gore Sonny Gray is going to be the big talking point for that's Wednesday's game. Gore and Gray, so that's cool. But yeah, let's go Cards. I guess. Fuck it. I can see them sweeping. I mean, if they can get through Mackenzie Gore and Sonny Gray can out, I can see them sweeping.
Yeah. Braves traveling to West Sacramento. Got Didier versus Jeffrey Springs. Bryce Elder versus Mitch Spence. And then that sounds like a politician. And then Spencer Strider versus J.P. Sears.
Not to be confused with Mike Pence.
Yeah, Mitch for real. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. This one's extremely a toss-up because both of these teams suck. I probably win the Braves to win the series. Could not tell you which one.
Well, let's go. Let's go Spencer Strider. Let's go Elder. Let's say the A's get it done on Tuesday. Elder needs to figure it the fuck out. And I don't know anything about DDA Fuentes.
Isn't he horrible?
I thought he was like not terrible, but I think he's been bad.
I mean, they've just been such a disappointment this year to like baseball fans, which is how I love it. I'm bad at this shit.
Ever since he's been like a spin streamer, he's gone really down fucking hill. Phillies demolished him 2 starts ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. And then we got a couple of Thursday stuff, that 4-game sets for Thursday. Rays at Red Sox, a bunch of TBDs there, or I guess TBDs for Thursday. Guardians at White Sox, Logan Allen TBD. Those will be 4-game weekend sets that start Thursday. But who gives a rat's ass? We'll talk about what are we going to talk about? Wednesday? Oh, are we drafting Wednesday?
We should draft Wednesday. I think we should draft Wednesday.
Okay. Draft Wednesday amongst other shit. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fun things to talk about because we got a lot of things for Wednesday. Maybe by then we'll know if we have our set all-star snubs or home run derby. We'll have to see what all this shit looks like. It's a fun time.
And then we also we also got to talk about like the trade deadline because it's sneaking up on us.
It is. Deadline is the July 31st. And now that we've entered July, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. And come All-Star break, we're going to have a lot of shit to go through. Deadline being one of them, All-Star coverage, and a lot more. So make sure everyone is tuning in. In the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 9:30. We started a little later today, but 9:30 generally. Thanks for tuning in. Updates video. Knowledge. On and out. Cheers.